恋に落ちた頭には No doubt この恋は timeless.
Hey yo derpies, and welcome back to this horrendous channel that's been dead for ages. Now I have a story to tell. It's my Switch story. It's probably the title of this video, and I wanted to talk about how Nintendo Switch has impacted my life and how I am so excited for Nintendo Switch 2, and I want to do it correctly this time. When Nintendo Switch, the first one, dropped out, it was during like college. I was still a goofball. Not college, high school actually. Oh my gosh. High school, like the beginnings of high school. And I remembered I got the Switch and I was just so excited about it, and I played it with friends and did all the new games, and I didn't realize I was living in such a historic moment for Nintendo's era, because not only was this like my first time playing Nintendo, since I had the Wii U, and like the Wii U wasn't really much for me, you know, like I played like the first Splatoon, what is it, Mario Maker, and I think Mario Bros or something, I can't remember. And I barely played the Wii. I played Just Dance on the Wii and Wii Sports. And on my DS, I only played Pokemon. There was no other game. So like Switch 1 was my first real time playing, Switch games. And I was so deeply invested into it. I lost so much money to Nintendo Switch, you don't understand. I've lost all my money to Nintendo Switch 1, and I'm so happy it's cross-compatible because I could save my money and say it was useful. Oh my god, okay, listen, I've lost so much money to Switch 1. But I wanted to tell my story now instead of, cat blocking it or like just never explaining it, because I want to start the Switch 2 correctly. I want to record the gameplays. I want to play the games. I want to, let the people know that I'm here to play this game. I'm hyped to play it. I cannot wait to play it. It's just so huge. It's so huge in my life that Switch 2 is coming out, and especially at a huge point in my life, a turning point. Actually, this is lock in April this month. Now, I wanted to post a video yesterday making predictions and talking about this, but life got in the way, and it's just, I decided if Switch 2 is starting today, so am I. I'm starting to lock in. I got things to lock into, and I'll explain later in an update video. I'm gonna make a separate video to talk about the updates for this channel and what I got planned, because I am so excited to start it with Switch. And I want to build a community and start it up. And what better day to start it than the day Switch 2 was revealed, and just like fully lock in this time. No more goofing around. I work 2 jobs. I do college. I have all the excuses to not do this. I have every excuse. I never have to put this much extra effort in this at all. There are people who do way less than me and do way better in YouTube, and I am just not there. I edit all my videos. I make sure it works. I make sure my friends can speak in the videos. I do all the like fun stuff. It's a lot of work. Anyways, that's for a whole different thing. We're talking Switch story. You're here for the Switch story. You're like, why am I rambling? All right, so Switch 1 was so impactful for me. I wanted to make sure I told my Switch story before I deep dived into Switch 2. So if I ever wanted to go back and remember Switch and how it impacted me as a kid until now, I wanted to remember. Because when Switch 1 came out, it not only like redefined my love for Nintendo and how deep I really like Nintendo, like a lot. It's not like I'm a Nintendo fanboy, but it's just like what it's done in my life and how I've met friends and, made career choices, and how it's pulled me through dark eras and times. And, just like it kept me in a happy mood, like a easy one for all of us to compare is like Animal Crossing, and how it helped us during COVID, and how we made friends and traveled to islands and steal trees and cause chaos, like some of these games are so impactful to me, and I felt like it was needed to be talked about. This video, I wanted to talk about it and, let people know that this is my game, my story, my life. I love it. And I'm not I'm not one to be private about my life stuff. As you know, I feel a lot of people are always private about their life. I grew up in a school where I was in the same class all the time with the same kids, and we knew each other whole heart and throttle. You know, we knew what we were up to. We knew our failures. We knew our outcomes. We knew our progressions and how we handled life. And we were real, and I want to treat it the same here. I don't want to lie. Listen, there were some rough moments out here for me, and the Switch has carried me in a lot of different ways. So I wanted to start off. Now, you're probably like, okay, just get to the games. What game did you start? I was in high school when this thing came out, and I remembered I was so locked in to Splatoon watching videos. I was watching Zach Scott gaming videos like 24/7, watching him play Splatoon videos, because I couldn't physically own the game at the time, and I was obsessed with it. I was so obsessed with it, and I realized that the Splatoon game it came out on my birthday, and I just got birthday money because it released on the same day. So I went out and got the Splatoon game, and I loved it. And then once I heard that Splatoon 2 was coming out on the Switch, I was thrilled. I was absolutely enthralled to buy the Switch 2. It wasn't because of Mario, wasn't because of Zelda. Honestly, I didn't even know what Zelda was. I thought that was the name of the main character still. I didn't care about Zelda. I didn't know who Zelda was. You know, I never played any of the games. So I didn't care. And Mario, I'm so bad at video games. You can watch my video game Let's Plays on here. There's a total of one full one, The Last Campfire. And that's about it, because I can't complete things. Yay! You can watch my Donkey Kong Let's Play from 2 years ago and see how god awful or how darn awful I am. I'm so bad at video games. Anyways, so when I saw, Splatoon 2 was coming on the Switch, I was like, I have to get the Switch. The Switch is a must-go buy. So we were on vacation, and I remembered I saved a whole bunch of money, and we went to Florida, me and my family. And while we were there, I didn't buy anything. I didn't buy like a Lego set, and I was like, dang, we were here for a whole week in Florida, and I just didn't feel like buying anything. I think we went on a cruise, which was really, really fun. Oh my gosh, what a time. And we came back to the house, and I was just so enthralled with Splatoon in my brain. I was like listening to the music. I loved the game. It was just such a fun time to hear it and play it. And I really wanted to get the Splatoon game. I was just so enthralled. I just wanted to get it so bad. And so I went and I got Splatoon 2. My mom dropped me off at the what is it? She had a car delivery issue she had to do. And the same time, Target was restocking their Switches, because it was so hard to buy a Switch and find it physically, because I'm a physical buyer. I like to go out and physically buy the console, but it's becoming less and less that days because of how problematic it is to even get it physical, let alone digital. Thank gosh Nintendo games are digital, because physical games are getting more expensive, and having seen how the Pokemon cards are, and the Nintendo systems and home console systems are being treated, it's practically impossible to find any of them. So I was really, really pleased that I could go and get the Nintendo Switch with my money, and while my mom dropped her card. So I walked from there and I got the Nintendo Switch. And I didn't buy Splatoon 2. I actually bought ARMS, because I was really excited to play ARMS. But I didn't play ARMS till I played Splatoon 2. So I bought this Nintendo Switch, and I took it home, and I left it packed. I was like, I don't need to open it. I just continued watching Splatoon videos, and I was just obsessed with them. And then one day my friends were like, Splatoon 2 dropped. And I was like, Splatoon 2 dropped. I gotta get Splatoon 2. So I proceeded, as an American, this is crazy, I proceeded to walk through the highways and the streets and all the way to my target, which took around 3 hours of walking to get to my target from my house. And then I got the Splatoon 2. I was a sweaty mess. I went to the cash register lady. Of course, it's always the pretty one that rings you out when you're a sweaty mess looking like you're about to die as a teenager. Social anxiety. And she was like, $60 please. And I counted $15 and gave it to her. And she was like, 60, and it was the most embarrassing moment of my life. So I gave her the $60. And I then went away, and I walked back for 3 hours to get back home and put in the game. And I was so obsessed with this game. You know, I was like turning it on, and that's how I met some of my best friends. That's how I met some of the people who've changed my life. People I've met flying to Europe. That's how I met, most of my core community, and that's just how I started learning how to play video games. Because like Splatoon 2 to me was so huge, such a huge, impactful like moment in my life. It wasn't. We're 12 minutes into this, and I've only talked about one game. I've never realized how hard it is scripting and not rambling on about stuff. It's gonna be such a hard video to edit. What the frick? So wrapping up, because you probably heard enough about Splatoon 2. We're already on Splatoon 3. People are speculating Splatoon 4. We don't need to talk about Splatoon 2 anymore. This is just the startup, This is the... Oh, I'm so bad at this. Okay, listen. So I got Splatoon 2. And I was just obsessed with it. And then finally, what was the next game I got on my Switch? Not ARMS still. We weren't playing ARMS. You can forget it. ARMS wasn't unboxed yet. Because I don't unbox games apparently in order. I decided it's time for Uno. So after I played a lot of Splatoon 2 and made friends, I was bored at school because I couldn't play any games. I'd bring my Switch to the school. I'd sit there when I should be learning. Instead, I was playing freaking nothing because I just sat there on my phone playing Pokemon Shuffle, and I just couldn't do anything else because I was stuck in there. And what else are you gonna do? Pokemon Shuffle all life, baby. I was then decided to grab my Switch and pull it out, and I pulled out Uno. Now, I'm going to be talking more about the games I finished or truly played a lot of hours in. Now, I did download a whole bunch of different games and tried a whole bunch of them. Trust me, I did. But this is sort of the order of games I went to that I truly had an impact in my life. I shortened the list a lot because there's thousands of games that have impacted me on my Switch journey. And hundreds more that I want to talk about, but I've narrowed the list down to just important ones. And now it sounds silly that Uno would be so important, but Uno really carried me throughout my whole high school life because it not only allowed me to talk and meet people in school who also liked playing Uno on Switch, but not think I'm like some terrible gamer. Because back then, when you were playing back then when you were playing on your Switch at the school, people would ridicule you because you're a Nintendo fanboy, And I was also known as the anime boy because I liked Pokemon. Now, no offense to anime. I already made a video back then about talking my anime. Listen, I love anime. But back then I hated it and I thought it was stupid. And so not only was like being a Nintendo, but known as the anime boy as well, because I liked Pokemon and like Sailor Moon, was very, very hated upon at my school because I went with a lot of privileged kids. Let's just say that. And they had different opinions compared to Nintendo and Marvel lover and what was it? Anime lover, an anime Nintendo Marvel lover is just it wasn't accepted back then. And now I know Marvel lovers aren't accepted now, but you tell me when Endgame still hadn't come out, you weren't excited for, all the Marvel movies coming out? Come on, man. Come on. It was pure hype. DC had nothing on it. DC still has nothing on it. I don't know what's going on with DC, but they need to lock in, bro. They need to just like bomb the whole universe and retry it again. They starting with Superman. Let's hope they can fix that one. Because they need to add some color palette into the last time they made Superman. It would be a 10 out of 10 movie. They just add a little bit of color into that movie. I haven't watched it since it came out, so don't come at me. Anyways, so I got Uno and it made friends, and Splatoon 2 made friends. I think this was the core thing that like Nintendo did for me, because I was such a loner back then. No one ever played Pokemon near me, and the kids that did, they all moved away, or I don't go to school with them anymore. And I sat alone in lunch and ate and watched like sad Super Mario Maker videos from Uber Haxor Nova, and I just didn't chat with children, and I just like struggled on my own. So I just did like work, and I just did my own thing. So that's just what I did, and it was hard because like how are you supposed to make friends? So when Discord came out and I could play Uno and Splatoon with people and finally chat, it was such a revealing moment of what this Nintendo console can do for me. It was crazy. So finally I locked in. I got a good game. I got Mario Odyssey. And Mario Odyssey, woo! What a banger that game was. Oh my god, I can't remember. I spent so many hours playing that game. I got all the amiibos for it, all 3 amiibos. I love the game to death. I played it all, even the final challenge. You know how I finished the final challenge? Is when they had the moon frog glitch, and you could become a frog and swim your way to the end, do none of the challenge at all. That's how I finished the challenge. I love that game. We'll never be able to 100% it. I can't do jump rope. I gotta go quick for these games. We're only 3 games in, and we're already 18 minutes in, bro. You're here for a podcast. This is my Switch story. I'll make it however long I want it. But I got Odyssey, and I never realized how much I liked Mario before. I never realized how much of a single player game could do for me. Because I never played single player games. I played Pokemon. Pokemon was single player, but you had to do a lot of interaction, because my goal was to complete the Pokedex. So I had to interact with a lot of trading and talking with people and going to events and getting the Pokemon. I sat in the McDonald's bathroom for a Pokemon. I do it all. So I Odyssey was my first single player game, and I'm also not really good at gaming. Like in Pokemon, you only press fight and use the super effective move to another one, and then that's it, and then you catch the Pokemon. Mario Odyssey is running around, jumping on tigers, riding them in the desert, doing triple jumps, collecting a new species, whole new mechanic there, defeating boss battles. You can jump in the game, you can jump, you can swim. It's not like the normal go straight, go left or right, and press a couple buttons and you're done. No, this one had you actually thinking and stuff, and it was really fun. I had a great time playing it, and it introduced me to the world of gaming, I think, and it was very big. It was a very big realization of how much video games can do for me. And then finally, I was in my workout era. I worked out in school. I worked out with the football team, and then after the football team, I went home and I played ARMS on the treadmill. I played the one where you'd punch, because I was like, I gotta do something with this game eventually. And I played ARMS a lot, and it gave me a good workout on the treadmill, and that still is a hard workout, by the way. I want to redo it, because I think it would be such a good exercise workout that I need to just retouch, because ARMS is so fun too. I really thought we were gonna get an ARMS 2 today, but we didn't. But that's okay. And then finally, the year ends. And what a year for Nintendo Switch for me. The first year is so impactful to me in general as a gamer. It just made friends for me, realized how hard gaming was. In Mario Odyssey, I realized what gaming was like. Uno did strides for me, and ARMS helped me work out, and Splatoon 2 helped me make online friends that I still have to this day. I made my best friend from Splatoon 2, my absolute bestie, my one and only. it's crazy to think that way. It's crazy to think that those 4 games have impacted my life so heavily in like a different way. And then obviously, you know, like what's the final game of the year? You know, it's Christmas. What did your mom get? She knew I really wanted Splatoon, but she didn't know I got the game because I had to be secretive because, you know, who walks 6 hours to get a video game and then come back and not tell them they got the video game? And then mom's like, why is your shirt drenched in water? I know you don't cut the grass. What did you do? You didn't cut the grass today. And I was like, I don't know how to explain it. So, you know, I had to make up the lie, and you know that's just how it worked. And I can't remember what lie it was, but you know, when she got free for Christmas was Splatoon, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so happy I got this game for Christmas. But I already have it, so I went to Walmart secretly without her knowing, and I went to go exchange the game because this was the same year I got my driver's license, I think. Yeah, it was a pretty big year. I think maybe this year I got my driver's license. Somehow I went back to Walmart and we got Breath of the Wild instead because people were talking about Breath of the Wild so huge. And I was like, Zelda, what type of game is this? I guess if I have a Nintendo Switch, I should try the Zelda game people are trying. I sunk so many hours into Breath of the Wild. Holy moly, so many hours. Absolutely insane. So many hours. And would I do it again? Yes. I googled tutorials on how to beat bosses. I, you know, replayed. I died so many times. I got all 4 bosses to help me defeat the final boss. I used amiibos. I went into the battles. I played and hunted and looked for Korok seeds. I had so much fun playing Breath of the Wild. I think it was my first real taste of like, whoa, these are Nintendo games, Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. I was like, I didn't know I was missing out on such huge games like this as a kid, because all I played was Pokemon. So, you know, like trying Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey was just such a crazy time. Such a crazy time as a kid, especially when you're young and you just don't know what stuff is, and you don't know what, like, it's hard to explain because you didn't never experience stuff like this. You've been alive all your life and you've seen people talk about like, oh my god, I love Zelda, but you'd be like, why you love Zelda? Like, it's just the guy with the sword. Like, who cares? You know, you never, until you play the game and then you truly see like the passion, the vibrance they have in these games, and you're just like, oh my god, yes. You know, like, give me more. I freaking love it. I'm like, yes, I do. I love it too. It's so good. It's so good. So after I got Breath of the Wild and I've truly invested in, I was like, you know what? I need to lock in and play these games. And my Discord PFP has been Kirby for like 7 years, basically. And I was like, I need to change my Discord PFP. And I was like, well, why don't I try this Kirby game? So Kirby Star Allies came out around the same time Breath of the Wild I finished. Because I don't play games in order. You're going to learn that really quickly here. I don't play games in order or how they release. Because I'm just a degenerate who doesn't do it in order. For whatever reason, I'll just play the game I want to play at the time I want to play it. So I decided to play Kirby Star Allies right after Breath of the Wild. And, you know, a lot of people hate on that game, but I love easy games. So Kirby Star Allies was the first time I could finish a game on my own without looking up tutorials, without having help. You know, without struggling and crying every 5 minutes because I died and I couldn't figure stuff out. And, you know, I legitimately had a good time playing Kirby Star Allies. And I almost 100%ed the game. And I took it to school because I was trying to 100% it. And my friend, he was, like, there in the morning. And he was like, hey, man, do you want to play Kirby Star Allies? And I was like, hell yeah, let's play Kirby Star Allies. And we played the game. Absolutely adored it. We 100%ed the game in co-op together, and I think that's amazing. I never because waking up every morning before math class and sitting together on the hallway ground as true, you know, idiots, and not having many friends in high school, and having that one guy to play Kirby Star Allies with you. A Kirby game! A Kirby game! Come on, man. These guys were ridiculing me for playing Mario, alright? Like, a Kirby game's much worse. You know, back then the standards were really, really toxic. I guess those are just high school standards that you realize nowadays just don't matter. They don't matter. Like, I'll openly talk about Pokemon 24/7 because I love the game. Back then, I would have been embarrassed to say I like Pikachu and Ash Ketchum. I would have been like, oh, no, that's not true. You know, nowadays I love it. So, you know, Kirby Star Allies was just such a huge moment for me bonding a friendship and learning how to make a friendship last longer than like here or there. And I think that was such a huge impact to me. Now, I still have him as a friend. Don't worry. I could text him. I just need to become good friends with him. I wish I was. He moved away and it got harder to interact. And I'm making excuses because I'm an excuser. But I do wish I kept friends with him longer. But, you know, Kirby Star Allies, what a solid friendship. And then Yoshi Crafted World came out. And it was another easy game for me to play, and I just adored it. I couldn't get enough of it. So it was my first single easy player game without co-op that I truly enjoyed, and it carried me. I love Yoshi. I do. I love Yoshi. I got the giant woolly yarn Yoshi. I'm still looking for that Poochie one because the Poochie one is like $70, and I can't afford that. But I love the game. I love Yoshi's Crafted World. What a fun game. And, you know, that held me over to my first big hour sunken game. This was my first Nintendo hour sunken game that I think literally showed how bad of a gamer I was at this time. Because now Yoshi was my transition over from, you know, high school to college. This is when I was starting to learn animation in college. And Yoshi was my transition to that. Yoshi, you know, I played Yoshi for fun because it was easy. And now I was in college, and this, you know, this is before, you know, Disney Plus was a thing. This is before, you know, like, we never had a Pokemon game on the Switch, you know, other than like Let's Go, but I didn't get Let's Go because I hated Pokemon Go, and that was the stupidest thing ever. And now I'm looking back, and I love playing Pokemon Go. I play it daily, every day now, and I wish I played that game way more, and I wish we had more versions of it because Let's Go was so good. It was so good, and Pokemon Go is so good. I don't think people understand how cool it is to walk around every day and have something fun to play on the side. Now, I know there's like, no, well, they charge us money for this and this and this, and, you know, we have limits and this. Yeah, that doesn't matter. I can go outside and walk around and catch a couple Pokemon and put it in my decks, and then take it into my home game and play with them. Like, what more do you need? What more do you need, dude? Like, that's so cute. That's so cool. That's just so nice. I love it. So, you know, Sword and Shield came out, and I remember it came out the same time Disney Plus was revealed, and I was deep into college. At this point, I got a girl who said yes to having a date with me, and then that fell out because she moved schools, and I think, not moved, she like gave up in college, and I never saw her again. But she did say yes, so we're still on that date to see the Joker movie. Where you at? That's never gonna happen. But I did score homie. So Sword and Shield and Disney Plus was coming out at the same time. And I remember that day I turned on Wizards of Waverly Place, and I watched Wizards of Waverly Place all day while playing Sword and Shield all day. I remember playing it like in the morning. I woke up the night of. I stayed the whole night up, and I turned it on, and I grinded it. I drove to school. I grinded it while I was in school, while watching the show, and then I drove back home, watched the show, and grinded the game over and over and over and over, all the way to the following day for at least another 3 hours. And so I played a full 24 hours straight, plus another 3 hours before I tapped out and finished the game on Sword and Shield. And then I realized how degenerate of a gamer I became. I gamed for over that much time non-stop. Basically, that's disgusting. I only made time to eat, I only made time to go to school and drive back and forth, which was only like 3 hours at max. And other than that, I gamed Sword and Shield the entire day. I've never felt so gross gaming. I literally put down the game then for 7 days, and I realized how big Nintendo Switch gaming is gonna be to me. And I think this was the turning point where my gear started to shift, and I realized that Nintendo Switch isn't just like a console for gaming. These things are impacting my life for the benefit and for the negative. Because I realize if I game that much intensively, I'm going to start diluting myself from progressing forward in life. And I needed to figure that out. So what didn't help after this. It really didn't help after this. Oh wait, no, I switched to games. I oopsie doopsies the games. I told the wrong story. Because I forgot to talk about Super Smash Bros. Why did I forget to talk about Super Smash Bros? Super Smash Bros was so big, and I didn't even know. I didn't understand Super Smash Bros. Okay, well, I guess that's when I did play it. So during the time when college was also ending, and Sword and Shield was coming out, and I just finished Yoshi Craft the World going into college. During that time, a new game came out called Super Smash Bros. And now, I never played Smash in my life. I don't know what it was. It looked weird because I didn't know a lot of Nintendo characters. And honestly, some of them looked wacky and weird. And sort of like, why is there a 3D anime girl in my game, you know? And at the time, I didn't like anime girls. So it's sort of like, what is this yuck, you know, like, who's the Samus person, you know, is that like Fire Emblem characters, you know, like Wario, who plays Wario, that's such a loser, you know, I had these, like, such negative reactions to Super Smash Bros, and I didn't understand how big of a game this would have changed my life, because I played Smash Bros throughout my entire senior year. Every single day, because I only had 3 classes. I had math in the beginning, and I had English at night, or English at the end of the day. And throughout the rest of the days were study halls for me. And what I did in study halls was play Super Smash Bros. I played it at the house, I played it with friends, I played it at school, and then it transitioned me over to, you know, college. And I realized I was playing Super Smash Bros. A lot, and Pokemon Sword and Shield a lot. And I think this was the golden age for me. Super Smash Bros. And Sword and Shield and Splatoon were my 3 hugest games during this time. And it was the golden age, the golden era of Nintendo. It was my golden era of Nintendo. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much. It was such a big thing to me. And I couldn't get enough of it. But when that happened, I did play Marth, and I mained Marth in Smash Bros. And I couldn't get enough of Marth. I was like, I gotta know about my boy Marth, you know? I've already been testing. I've tried Kirby, I've tried Zelda, I tried the new Mario, I tried Smash Bros, I tried Yoshi, you know, I love Pokemon. You know, what was next? I guess I gotta try this Fire Emblem game. And I played Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now, did I finish this? No. I did not finish Three Houses yet. I need to finish Three Houses. I made it to the time skip. Spoilers! For an old game, I made it to the time skip. You're gonna be like, time skip? What do you mean? When you play the game, you'll understand. But by then, you'll probably forget I ever said anything about a time skip. I made it to the time skip. And I couldn't play the game anymore. I just decided. Now, I'm one of those people, I have ADHD, so like I really concentrate on something for very long, and then one day I'll just be like, oh, it's done. I don't care anymore. We don't have to play that game anymore. I'm also the same way with TV shows, where I'll watch like 12 episodes of a 24 season, or 12 episodes of a 24 episode series, and I'll be deep in it. And I'll be loving it. And then one day I just watch something else, and then I'll never touch that series again. I'll never go back. I'll just never have. I'll be like, I've watched enough. I enjoyed it when I enjoyed it. There's no reason to go back, and if I go back, then I'll just enjoy it some more later, I guess. You know what I mean? I have so many shows and things just stopped in the random mids of seasons, just like games, just stopped randomly. You know, like I could have been like, 6 badges into Sword and Shield, and I'd just be like, that's enough. I don't need to play it anymore. I had a good time. Like, I don't know why this is a thing for me, but I'll just stop in games midway, and this was one of the first Nintendo games. I think I stopped midway, and I just realized, like, I don't need to finish it. I enjoyed the amount I played, and I'd love to replay it again and choose a new house and do stuff, and I really have a really cool video idea for this. I'll do it in the update video of what I think this channel is gonna become, because I have a really good idea for this. But you know, Fire Emblem, just one of those games. And then, you know, the lead from Fire Emblem, we had the hit of COVID, and before COVID hit, during that time, I decided to pick up Mario Rabbids. Mario Rabbids, what an impactful game to my life. I never realized how much I love those types of games, because if it wasn't for Three Houses to introduce me to how Mario Rabbids was, I don't think I would have liked Mario Rabbids. But I loved it. Mario Rabbids was like a simplified version of, you know, of Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I enjoyed it. Now I'm leaving out games, a lot of games actually, because it's a lot of games. It's a lot of games. This is still during college, this prime college, you know, and I then decided I wasn't locked into college as I am now. I wasn't sure about what my life was doing. I still worked. I worked 3 jobs during COVID, because COVID just started. I worked at the movie theater, I worked at a gas station, and I worked as an animator, because that's what I was studying to be. And during that time, when COVID hit, and I was still in college, a new game came out, and that was called Animal Crossing. And I was like, another game into the Nintendo library I don't know anything about. I guess I'm gonna try out Animal Crossing. So I go and I try out this Animal Crossing game. And this game, for better for worse, broke a lot of friendships I've made since Splatoon. Which sounds like a long time ago now, thinking in this podcast. It's only, or the podcast, I guess I should call it a podcast. But it's not, it's just my story. And I'll probably really edit it down where I don't say, 24/7. But you know, when I got an Animal Crossing, there were allegations made against me that I'm not proud of, and I'm truly still sorry for. And while me and that one person have made up for it, and we're chill, and we're never gonna do anything like that again ever in my life, you know, I had a big group of community. You know, we had like 50 people in a server of friends, and this thing that I said, a lot of people tried to defend me. A lot of people called me really bad names and things that were granted correct, and I was terrible to do it, and I'm so lucky this person didn't do anything harmful to me, because they could have, and they could have ruined my life, and they didn't. I'm not saying anything more. That's okay. I just think it was such an impactful moment of, like, this game not only broke my friendship, but it also made me realize who my true friends are. And now, while I lost a lot of friends, I did earn a girlfriend out of this. Just not really how it's supposed to go. That's so weird thinking about it. I did something horrendous and I got a girlfriend out of it. That's not probably a good thing. That's definitely not how it's supposed to go. There were good sides of Animal Crossing too. I mean, I loved running around. I made my island. I was dressed up as Harley Quinn. I threw trash everywhere. The game itself, I loved playing like building the houses, collecting all the stuff for the aquarium. You damn well know I made friends. No, Australia. I had races in Australia to get those different time zones. You know, I love playing legitimately, getting the fossils. I went on to Nook Amazon to get the cool stuff, you know, the trading. I even had a stress poop. If you ever ask me in the future, hey, what was that stress poop you're talking about in Animal Crossing? I'll tell you. That story alone takes like 12 minutes. I'm not going to tell you the whole story about my stress poop. But I freaking loved it. I loved Animal Crossing. I made solid. I think what Animal Crossing did to me was make solid friendships. And I still have those solidified friendships right now with the people who helped me through Animal Crossing. Because it was such a rough time in my life where I didn't know what I was doing in college. COVID was terrible. My new job as a cook was making me depressed as all heck. You know, and I couldn't handle life that much, and I was doing very bad things, and I just realized, you know, maybe it's a good thing. You know, that Animal Crossing changed my life and made me realize who my solid friendships were, because I truly needed this at a later date of solid friendships, because I never realized how impactful these solid friendships would do for me. And so later, you know, Age of Calamity came out. I loved that game, played the crap out of it, made me love Hyrule Warriors, and actually that game led me to playing a lot of One Piece Hyrule Warriors, and I wanted to try out Naruto ones too. I love One Piece. So Age of Calamity, huge game to help me make One Piece games and fight off and see those type of games. Love it. I put it in here not because of like impact story, but just as a game to me. It was so new. It was so fresh. You know, it was something I couldn't fathom. And then the next game, you know, that came out for me was Paper Mario Origami, which I took a vacation trip and I read the Hunger Games book. The newest one that actually became a movie, which a new one has came out. I need to read it. Holy moly! But I played Paper Mario, and I played it during vacation. We went to Universal Studios. What a great time that was! And you know, I just enjoyed that game. Paper Mario. It's my first time ever playing a Paper Mario game, and I know a lot of people say Paper Mario Origami is terrible, and there's better Paper Mario games out there. This was my very first one. And I could beat it, and you know, I hear people say they want challenges and stuff, but I want baby mode. I love baby mode. Baby mode is my life, alright? I can't beat games on normal mode. I don't think people understand. It's hard for me to beat games on easy mode. I need baby mode, and you know, Origami King was normal mode for me. You know, it was a challenge I needed to conquer, and I needed to think ways to solve it, and you know, puzzles. And it was hard. I don't like looking up stuff unless I need to. And I want to be able to beat a game. Like, if I pay good money and I'm enjoying it, I don't want to be stuck 24/7. I get it. I get the frustration. I love the frustration. Trust me, when Splatoon DLC Octo expansion, that final fight took me freaking 5 hours straight of non-stop grinding that same fight to beat it. And by pure gods, I beat that thing. I don't know how. I got the hairpin. But, like, I could never do that. If you ask me current today, me, to do that, no way. No way. And 5 hours too? No way. Because Splatoon 2 was when I was, like, the most good at gaming ever. Other than that, it was, like, Minecraft on Pocket Edition. I was a god gamer on Pocket Edition Minecraft. Holy moly. You asked me, little 12-year-old me, I was a gamer. But, you know, Paper Mario Odyssey, or Paper Mario Origami was just such a good, fun vibe game that led me out of, like, this depressing time I was in. You know, it was just so hard to get through the days of working 3 jobs and then switching to a new job as a cook. That made it even worse. That job was one of the worst jobs I ever encountered in my entire life. And I haven't worked a lot of jobs in my life. I'm not like some experienced new guy, but I've seen jobs that could be worse, and I'm telling you, being a cook in that position, holy moly, because that job was just woof. While we were flying back home, I got snipper clips in Florida. No, it was in Texas. I got snipper clips. And me and my sister, we played that game, and I don't think I've ever giggled so much in a video game in my entire life to snipper clips. Snipper clips was such a big impact for me. And now you're like, oh my god, how many more games are we gonna talk about? And we're already 46 minutes in. How many more games are we gonna talk about? You know, like, oh, can you wrap it up? We're almost there. We're almost there. Trust. We're almost there. You're like, Snipperclips, that came out in the beginning. Trust me, I play games out of order. I'm sorry. You know, Snipperclips was a huge game to me. It made me laugh a lot. I bring it every vacation time now because I love playing it with people who've never played the game. Because it's still an indie game to a lot of people. You know, they never touched it. They don't know what it is. And it's silly, fun, and easy to use. I absolutely adore how Snipperclips makes me laugh. Video games that make me giggle are like my favorite video games. And you know, then I played Zelda's Link Awakening, the little chibi one. And I freaking adored it. Little chibi Zelda Awakening. Now, did I use a lot of tutorials? Yeah, hell yeah, because I'm not smart at all. But I loved it. I loved it to death. It was such a fun game for me to play, and I think it was really inspiring. Of, you know, like, it's okay to look up YouTube tutorials for games you can't beat, and it's okay that you're not good at the game. If it's cute and you want to play it, you play it and you enjoy it. And I think that was a really big importance to me, because a lot of people were still hating on me for playing baby mode on games, or easy mode, or playing Smash easy, or Mario Odyssey easy, or Breath of the Wild easy, or like, I was playing a lot of easy games, and I realized, you know, like, it's okay. If you're not good at games, it's okay. It's okay to play easy mode. And I think that's something that's lost in the world of gaming. You know, a gaming is for someone to relax and de-stress. And I know a lot of people like a challenge when gaming. I do. I understand it. But I have a challenging life. I don't want to be challenged in my games. I want to go to a boss, I want to go smack, and it's done, and then I continue the story happily. You know, I know that's not what people want. They want a fun story that leads you to an action boss where you fight and use all the skills you learn and throughout the game, and then you fight the boss and you defeat it. I understand. But I like these, you know, chillax games. I like relaxing, you know? I like going around as Kirby, sucking a random guy. Pause! Moving on. Moving on. Talking about challenge escalation. I went from really easy games to Monster Hunter Rise. And this game made me realize maybe hardcore games aren't for me. And I think I also branched out and played like Spider-Man and God of War and Uncharted during this time. And I realized something. I'm not good at hard games. I really am not. Like, a lot of people were playing Monster Hunter Rise and they were progressing for the story way quicker than I ever was. They were doing dashes, they were, you know, making armor and these complicated sets, and they were doing, you know, building dongos and, you know, fighting monsters in competitive ways, jumping around, slashing, breaking parts, knowing what parts to break. They were fighting really hard, you know, they had dogs, they had armors, they had skins. They had, you know, abilities. My friends around me knew what they were doing, especially one of my friends, and she loves the game. And it was just such a hard time for me, as I couldn't even locate where the monster was on a mini-map. These people would be out here fighting the monster, and I'd be lost in the mini-map on the corner of the map looking for herbs. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know where the monster was, and by the time I got there, I got easily KO'd or ran around like a goofball. You know, I spent 3 hours on a challenge that wasn't even that hard for people to do because I was fighting the wrong monster. I thought I needed to fight this monster, but I needed to fight the other one. I didn't know. You know, and I did even party challenges where you try to take the monster down together, and I loved playing the game. I really did. What solidified me was Monster Hunter Stories, because it's very similar to Pokemon Go, or not Pokemon Go, Pokemon in general. And I love that. I love that. But Monster Hunter Rise is such a different, hard, difficult game where I realized, like, maybe difficult games, you know, a lot of people are giving me crap about it, and I thought, you know, maybe I'm having such a stressful life because I'm not taking a difficult life in my video game life. And I realized, like, the more I played Monster Hunter Rise, I got scared of fighting the arachnid monster because I had a spider phobia and I didn't want to deal with it. And you know, and I couldn't handle, you know, it anymore. I love the game, don't get me wrong. I would love to play it again, and maybe I'd be a better gamer now as I understand controls more. I can say that, but I don't think I would be. But we move on from there to Xenoblade. A more difficult, challenging game, because, you know, I heard another friend was like, well, if you didn't like that difficult challenge, how about you play Xenoblade? It's a little difficult, but in this area, and it's all story mode, you know. And I was like, all right, maybe I'll take a heavy story difficult challenge instead of a non-story difficult challenge, because Monster Hunter Rise didn't have much of a story, and I think that's what bummed me the most. I was playing such great long games that had huge stories, other than like Yoshi's Crafted World or Kirby Star Allies, Arms Uno, or but like I can't even say that because they all had stories. Uno's the only one that didn't have a story, you know. Like even Snipperclips has a story, not much. Snipperclips and Uno don't have a story, but like, I'm talking, I've been playing a lot of games. Even Smash Bros had a story, you know, and their story wasn't even in the game. It was how the people reacted to it and loved the game. You know, I realized that maybe I needed a story hardcore game. And I played Xenoblade, and it's one of my top favorite games of all time. I sunk so many hours into Xenoblade, but what hooked me in this game was whenever I played as Shulk himself, and he ran on the map, so did I. I played on the treadmill because I wanted to get back into exercising again, because I've fallen off in my life and I couldn't figure out what to do. And I was working 3 jobs, one as a cook and still doing college, and just being lost in this COVID era. And so I took Xenoblade, and it broke me into how much I could love a game. Oh my god, I just ripped a nasty one. Holy moly. Xenoblade, what a huge game for me. It really changed my life, opened the story mode to me. I got lost in the world, and the world accepted me for getting lost and let me do challenges. I leveled up easily, you know, I fought the bosses, and then I realized you could equip armor at the end of the game, final boss mode, because I was an idiot playing this whole game unarmored and thinking that Shulk never gets armor and stuff. So throughout the whole game, I was running around with the same plastic sword, not upgraded or anything like that, and I was grinding up levels like crazy, and I hit the final battle, and I was like, why can't I beat it? And then I opened my little menu map, and you could get armor and upgrade your skill abilities, and upgrade your team members, and change the team members. I don't know why I forgot about this. Maybe it's because I'm really bad at gaming. And I beat the final boss in 2 seconds and realized, holy moly, I've been playing this game in hard mode, even though it was in easy mode, because I just didn't know how to get armor and do stuff like that. So it was a very eye-opening game of, like, here's my first legit hard game I beat. Because I'm a buffoon, but also, like, holy moly, like, I did that. Like, I truly could do all that by myself, and there was a story, and I loved it. I love Xenoblade so much. And then Fall Guys came out, and Fall Guys is such a fun game on the Switch. Oh my god, I can't wait to play it on Switch too. I just can't wait to play it. Made very good friends because of Fall Guys. Fall Guys was a fun thing that I played a lot. Then Kirby Forgotten Land came out, and I love Kirby Forgotten Land a lot. What a fun game for Kirby Forgotten Land was. You know, But, hot take, I hear a lot of people say they love Kirby Forgotten Lands a lot more than Star Allies. But because Star Allies had such an impactful story to my life than Kirby Forgotten Land. Because Kirby Forgotten Land was like its first real, Kirby open game. And hell, I have a plushie of Kirby eating the car. I love the game. Don't get me wrong. I freaking love the game. But, it's just that I like Star Allies more. I just felt like I had more of a connection in Star Allies than I had in Kirby Forgotten Land, because I finished Kirby Forgotten Land and I 100% it, and I realized, I had a fun time with it, but I didn't play with friends. At this point I was making less friends. I didn't really hang out much with people. I didn't know how to interact and in college, and I sort of just gave up with the college I was doing and went into cooking because my mom and dad forced me to go into a college career and figure out a life for myself because I wasn't doing anything. I was being a bum, playing video games 24/7 and barely working to make a living. Which makes sense, okay? Valid. They're like, either move out or go to college, and I was like, I'm not ready to move out. So I went to college, and yikers. Then, Legends of Arceus came around that time as well. What an impactful game for me, as this was a huge turning point in my life as a Pokemon fan, as a person. As when I started this college, it was really hard because I was learning cooking every day. I was studying cooking every day. I was doing cooking every day. I cooked all day, all night, watched YouTube videos about cooking, studied cooking at school, went to work for cooking, cooked more at the house, then came back home and studied more for cooking and cooking and cooking and cooking. And shocker news, guys, breaking news. I beforehand only made chicken tenders and fries and cereal. And guess what now? I'm still doing the same thing. Listen guys, I can't handle cooking. Is not my life. I've learned how to cook and I hate it. I hate it so much. It is the worst thing in my life I've ever learned, ever. It's horrendous, and I don't think I could ever be a chef in my life. It is the worst thing to do every single day of my life. Cooking, people in cooking are depressed. I don't know what happened to these people, but now I do know what happened because I did it, and it has turned me into a cold-hearted monster, and I hate it. Listen, I'm a nice person. I am not meant for this life of cursing and throwing food at people and getting mad and cooking food of whatever type. It is just not my life. And Legends Arceus was just such a relatively breakthrough moment for me in the gaming career, because when I cooked all day and I went to my Pokemon game and I relaxed and gamed Pokemon, and it was away from this world I was trapped in, I fell in love with Legends Arceus so much. So very, 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 very much. What a game that really took me by, storm. Really took me, in awe of what a Pokemon game could be. What a Nintendo game could be for, we're so far into the Nintendo console at this point. We were already past the golden era so long ago. And I've already changed from a kid in high school who just goofed around to now this whole cooking career life aspect just to finish college and prove to my sister, college is doable. It's possible to finish. I can do it. So can you. You're gonna be okay. That was my goal. My parents always forced this, and I was scared to move out and work a different job and just be alone. And it was really hard. It's really, really hard. So Legends Arceus was there, and it put a smile into my face. And I completed even the Pokedex for it. I love that game. I absolutely adore it. And then, what came out right after was Splatoon 3. And I think this is when I realized that the Nintendo Switch console has become less of such a priority in my life to something I play on my free time. As, I played Splatoon 3 in the beginning very heavily, as I was like, yes, Splatoon. And the more I realized I didn't have time to hang out with friends and, play games and chill out all day. COVID was ending. you know, everyone was getting back to their normal lives. I didn't see why people played, you know, Splatoon 3 with me at all. And, you know, I just had to lock in. I had to figure out what I was going to do with my career. I was getting to this depression state. I was getting to these suicide moods that were getting really, really, really bad because it's just one job. And it put me in a lot of stress, a lot of pain, a lot of sadness. And, you know, Spoon Free, where I thought it would be my saving grace from this chaos and abysmal ending, you know, it put me into this just disappointed world of where I love the game to death. Very fun. Don't have any issues with it. But I'm not good at Salmon Run, and people were getting really competitive, and I just couldn't keep up with it. And I just, you know, single player was already so hard for me alone to beat it. You know, it's not easy for me to beat single player mode. Oh no! And like, that was my mic falling down. It's not easy for me to beat single player alone. You know, and then I decided, you know, maybe I should go back to Xenoblade, because Xenoblade brought me a lot of love, and it was a single player game where I didn't need to worry about people, and I was going to be A-okay because it's a lone game, and it turned out to be one of my least... I hated that game. I'm going to say right now, I hate Xenoblade 2. Story was okay. The gacha mechanic, throw that out the window. Never bring that back in any video game I ever paid for $60. Never bring a gacha game mechanic into a video game $60. I'm saying this right now. Never do that again, Xenoblade. I don't want to ever see that in my entire life ever again. Do not bring a gacha system into Xenoblade. I don't want to be re-rolling for rare characters that help me in the game. Just let me buy them. I paid $60. I don't want to go for a whole gacha system and then go on the Nintendo shop and buy characters with the gacha points and see if I can pull them again, because you only have a limited amount of pools inside the game alone itself. And so that really pissed me off. So I never used any other person except the main 2 girl and her alt form, Pyra and Rex. I never changed any other characters. If you saw me with another character in the team, it was solely to unlock the next step in the math, because they did that to you, where they made you keep them, and afterwards I would delete them because I felt like I was having slaves. I literally just used them to get through the maps, and that is slavery. I had slaves. No. At least Pokemon, they can leave on your own. In the anime, if they don't want to stick with you, they can just leave the ball. They don't have to stick with you. They don't have to stay caught by you. It's been shown before. But in this one, they were just straight up slaves. Once you had them, they just couldn't leave you. And I didn't like the slave. So Xenoblade 2, very big loss. Made me depressed. I'm ready to lose it. You know, and I just decided, you know, just quit my job. And I took a new job. And I got better. And I was wrapping up school, and school wrapped up. And I got better. You know, and during this time, Mario Wonder came out, and I was like, oh, Mario Wonder, that's so fun. You know, I can't wait to play Mario Wonder. I can't wait to do it. And I was so excited and enthralled to play some Mario Wonder. And, you know, after I played it, I was like, I need to make videos. So this is when I got onto YouTube finally here. And I played The Last Campfire, which you can watch the whole Let's Play on. I did finish that game. Really love that game. Absolutely adore it. I played Altaria Ryza. Never finished it. Another game unfinished, but recorded. You know, I played Minecraft on here. I played a whole bunch of games. And then I stopped recording because I needed to go back to college and start figuring out my life again. Which took me a while. And I figured out I want to be a dietitian, and here we are. Now I'm studying to be a dietitian. I'm trying to get a new job as a dietitian. I need help. I don't really know what to do because I'm not really this smart and stuff, but I'm locking into school studies right now. I'm locking into becoming a better dietitian. You know, during this time, I played Luigi's Mansion 3. Like I said, playing them out of order. What I do best, you know? And then while I started locking into Luigi's Mansion 3 and getting better in the summer and recording YouTube videos and, you know, studying more and doing better at work, work and school demanded more as usual, and I just had to give up on YouTube. And, you know, at this point, I also just had a lot of girlfriends and, you know, bad endings or happy endings or goodbyes, just becoming a mess as a human. And I had to give up on YouTube and just like self-focus and self-study. And I got into Pokemon Go, and now I've made friends from all the way back. I've remade a friend from all the way back to Animal Crossing ages. The friend of, I think, my girlfriend at the time there, me and her, we became friends again. And we flew to LA and we played Pokemon Go together. And, you know, I finally hit the Nintendo store in person for the first time in real life. And that was so spectacular. So amazing. So amazing. I played Persona 5. And I haven't finished the Persona 5 game. I love it to death still, too. I love that game so much. It's my current playing game. And I realized, Nintendo. Now I'm here. I work 2 jobs. I work in a movie theater. I work at my cooking job, right? And my cooking job is pretty nice now. A new cooking job. The one I quit to go to this cooking job. It's pretty nice. But I decided to look for a new job, which I have an interview for tomorrow of a dietary aide. Or not aide, but, like a nutritionist aide, to see what that's like in a hospital and get those benefits and work full-time for it and fully lock in and, actually become productive. And once I have that job, I pass this class in school and I clean my room, I'm gonna move out. I'm almost done cleaning my room so I can move out easily and just pack everything up in about 20 minutes, which is really impressive. It's really hard to clean a room that you've had for decades. But now I'm studying to be a dietitian, and I'm about to have the interview to see how that job goes. And if I can get it, a full-time job there with benefits, time pay, medical insurance, dental insurance. I don't even care if it's cooking anymore. I just want out of it. I don't care to pay. If it pays good, enough to live on my own, I can cut some subscriptions off and be fine. I'm not gonna live or die if I have to lose some subscriptions. It's not gonna kill me. But the Switch 2 will. The price of it, woo! Talk about those price things. Oh my goodness gracious, they trying to kill us. But I will say, in total, this is my Switch story, by the way. I'm never retelling this again, unless you want to hear the stress poop. That's the only story I'll ever tell you again. That thing's funny. I've realized how far I've come as a kid. Sitting down in high school floor, being a loner on a table, playing, Uno, and not talking to children, and, making friends that way, and, discovering who I wanted to be, and what I studied, and how hard school was, and how I overcome it, and what games came through me during those times, and helped me push through, or lost, or made me struggle, or have challenges. During the same time, I was having challenges in life. And, what games made me happy and feel love? What games brought me to YouTube? What games made me want to do this? And I realized that now Switch 2 is coming out. I really want to do this for an actual fun time. I want to record my games for the first time. I want to let the people know I played them. I want to make fun videos. I want to make fun topics. Discuss. Chat about future games coming out. Be, all about it. And you're like, oh my god, is he going to talk about Mario Kart? The new one? No, I don't like Mario Kart. It's the one game I dislike in the whole Nintendo Switch. I love every other game, but Mario Kart, I'm always 12th place, driving in the wrong direction, bro. I'm so cooked. Alright, I'm so cooked. I cannot play Mario Kart. I am a terrible driver in real life. Ignore the clap. I just tried to kill a fly. My plant is bringing in buggies, and the buggies are loving the room. I don't understand why they can't just leave my room alone. Anyways, distraction. But, I'm huge for the Donkey Kong game. Gonna try to get the Switch day one. I love the Nintendo library, and I want to play those. You know, I just cannot wait to start the Switch era, and what better way to, you know, break it right now and open to the people who I am, my Switch story, and what I've become as a person, and what I am now. If I want to do so much, and if you want to be here for my Switch journey and what I'll do for my Switch journey, I think it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a ride. I cannot wait for what kind of stories come out of this. I don't know what games are going to come. I've never played a full Donkey Kong game. And heck, if this is my first Mario Kart game, because I've only played Mario Kart 8 like 4 times in my life, and those were very separate, very few 25-minute long played. So like probably an hour of Mario Kart has been played in my life. I think it's gonna be a very fun, exciting new time, and I think it's gonna be new. If you're here for that, welcome aboard to this crazy train. I can't wait. I'm so glad you listened to the Switch story. I want you guys to write or send me videos of your Switch story. I love to hear them. I love to know how the Nintendo Switch has impacted you forever, how short or how long. Maybe you got it during Animal Crossing time. Maybe you got it during, you know, recent time, like the new Tears of the Kingdom. I've yet to play that game. That's going to be my launch to Switch title game instead of Mario Kart, because I don't really care for Mario Kart, but I haven't played Legends of Tears of the Kingdom, so I'm excited for that one. I cannot wait to play that one. I haven't been spoiled anything for it. I'm still stuck in the Sky Island. I know you can like make stuff, and there's like an underground, but I don't really know what that means at all. I haven't even been spoiled the story or the bosses or what to do in the game. I don't even know how to do the stuff. All right, I think it's gonna be a blast. I think it's gonna be a blast. That's gonna be my first game on this stuff, and I think it's important to make this video now and actually do it. And after this, I'm actually gonna lock in and study and review my note cards and get locked into school and start cleaning my room more and making my desk workable for these videos, because I want this April to be my April. I want to get that new job. I want to pass that test and become done with school and finally start my master's, or my beginning of my master's degree to dietitian. And I want to move out and start my life, you know, and these are very big goals. And, you know, April's the month. April's the month to test it all. You know, am I going to get the job? Am I going to pass the test? Am I going to be doing YouTube all the time? Am I going to be able to keep up with work and move out? You know, these are big goals that April all has in line, and I decided this month is my lock-in month. And, you know, I didn't start April 1st, but, you know, that's also April Fool's Day, and people would have thought I've been lying. So today, it's my April 1st, and, you know, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. We're going to lock in. We're going to have so much fun. But this is Nintendo only. I don't want to bore you with all the other stuff I have for this channel. But if you're interested, there should be another video out today or tomorrow that will explain what is going to happen with this channel, such as animal podcasts, such as gaming videos, and Smash Bros. Idea content videos that are going to blow your mind. And I think also such as, you know, drawing videos. And I also want to just chillax and do videos on me learning how to study and learning dietitian. And I want to teach you guys dietitian as well. Not because, hell, I'm fat, dude. I'm a big chubby guy now. Not big chubby, but, you know, like, if I want to be a dietitian, I gotta lock in and lose some of the weight and teach you how to do it too. Because, you know, we can't be drinking, you know, Coca-Cola for the rest of our lives and eating unhealthy fat food. That's not gonna cut it. And, you know, just do better, because it's not bad. I've learned so many ways to be better in life. I want to share it with you guys. I want to be here if you're interested to learn. I want to share the passions and love I have. And I think that's what the Switch 2 Direct and this moment here is giving me. And I need to take grasp of it and do it. So I'm going to edit this video. It's already an hour and 17 minutes long. There's going to be a lot to edit. But, as always, until next time, stay derpy. Bye bye.
必要になった私の酸素になったもう離れられないんだ君は私に新たな世界を見せた地球上にいる時間は限られているけど君さえいれば時間を無駄にしても意味がある